Get ready for your ears. Welcome to Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, and tonight I am joined by my co-host, Marco Monreal, Arturo Ibarra. Guys, I'm hurt. Like, literally, my asshole is still burning. Like, to this day, from this fucking shit that I survived. But I did it. Anyways, Marco, let's start with you. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just glad I didn't lose that fight.
You are not
Because
Marco. But thank you for telling us.
I Jesus said boy. Oh well, man. I was on my phone.
I thought you said R2 though.
Yeah, I thought you
Oh,
said art, so that's what I was like. I answered.
fuck. Well,
I think the
go,
chip's still messing you up, man. But
Go
I'm
for it,
just glad
Art.
I
How
didn't
you
lose
doing?
though. Because if I had lost, I would have taken 2 chips.
yeah.
So
I wish
I
you
don't
had
know.
lost.
Oh,
I wouldn't have mind doing it. Like whatever, dude. It's
So you say until you actually take it. There's a different
Yeah,
story.
I would have minded. Why minded? I would have minded. Yeah.
nah, man. You thought that we put all the spicy on the ramen doodles, dude.
That
What
shit
is
was
what is what
spicy,
is
bro.
what is it? What is this ramen? It's ramen. Don't
Ramen.
disrespect Naruto like that.
Ramen.
It's ramen.
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 It's okay.
But
My
yeah,
voice.
no, we didn't
Okay,
put all
okay.
the spice on that. You just thought it was. That was all Jose. Get in your head.
I'm gonna put all the spices on this one just for Marco. No, there's nothing to put on. That one's gonna kill you. Fuck, that one's gonna kill you. Anyways, it's all right. You'll live. You'll live. All right, guys. Well, it's been a fun weekend. Bunch of sports. We saw Bucks versus Bills. We saw Cowboys almost choke to the Washington football team. We got the Rams and Cardinals tonight. But on Saturday we had UFC 269. Didn't really get to talk about it. Kind of was choking. Kind of was dying. So, anyways, we got to see an amazing fight card. Charles Oliveira retains over Dustin Poirier, a new UFC Women's Bantamweight champion, and a whole other good shit. But let's start with the main event. Charles Oliveira defeated Dustin Poirier to retain his UFC lightweight title. Art, give me your thoughts on that fight. What went through your head when you saw the whole finishing sequence, and did you see any kind of controversial issues?
So I'm gonna kind of jump into the fight before that. So when I saw the fight between Nunez and Pena, how all the outcome came out. I know we're gonna talk about that, but how the outcome came out, right in my mind, I thought, fuck, it's gonna be one of those nights where my prediction for the fight it's gonna go sideways, and I'm gonna have to eat that damn chip. But
Okay.
that first round, I was like, all right, I feel good. You know, like it was all right. They were kind of feeling each other, and then freaking Poirier, man, like first and second round, like half through that, he just started hitting Oliveira, man. Like all those little jabs that he was connecting. I thought Oliveira should have lost that fight. I think he won by luck, man.
If this was a stand-up fight, he definitely would have lost.
Oh heck yeah, no,
Yeah.
Oliveira had to take it to the ground though. But even when Poirier was going at him, like he showed some moments of like like I have to protect myself. He was throwing some knees around. He was trying to get him in, trying to get him off his feet. But man, that fight was a close one. It was a good fight, but it helped him. I mean, we know that Oliveira's ground game. That's where he goes at. That's his finishing. So I mean, I was putting my money on Oliveira. I'm glad that he won, but I know what controversial you're talking about the fingers on the gloves and everything. But um, he won. I don't think he won. A win is a win though, but it's controversial though. I don't know what they're gonna do about that.
Marco, your thoughts on the fight?
No, yeah, I thought in the same in the first round, I saw a lot of control from Poirier, especially in the stand-up game. I think that's what we expected, right? Yeah, Oliveira's striking. He has really beautiful techniques when it comes to striking, grappling, all those things. He does things really well. But I think Poirier on his feet with his hands, obviously, um, he does really well, and we've seen it throughout his career. I think what happened. I think Poirier after that first round when he's throwing all those bombs, I think he got a little tired. That second round when Oliveira got him on the ground and he had him on a mount, it took a lot of energy. I mean, from both fighters. But that third round when he came out and Oliveira got that rear mount, and you heard Poirier when he was in his corner when he was like, I was just trying to get him to avoid my back. I wasn't trying to turn my back to him. And then what did he do? He did exactly that. He got his back. And props to Oliveira, man. I mean, we've seen him finish people like that. I mean, his first when he got the title, he knocked someone out, and now first defense, he submitted someone, right? So I mean, I think it's
Mhm.
pretty impressive for Oliveira. He does everything really well. I think he deserved it. Yes, it was a quite big controversial, but we've seen that with other fights already. We saw it in the Conor fight. We've seen it in other fights where fingers in the gloves and all these things that are pointed out, right? But I think Poirier had a good showing with his hands, but I think he didn't do enough defensively to be able to obviously hold them off. So props to Oliveira.
I mean, going into the first round, I mean, I clearly gave it to Dustin Poirier. The striking was on point, but a nice combinations of Oliveira going for the body with some knee strikes, mixing it up, making sure that he wasn't going to get knocked out because he was getting rocked. He was getting dropped a few times there, and he looked scary. At one point in the first round, Poirier gets Oliveira to the ground, but then he immediately stands up, knowing that ground game is going to be all Oliveira. You go in the ground with him, you're not gonna. Even if you're on top, you're not gonna do well.
Yeah, his Brazilian jiu-jitsu is crazy.
It's insane, and he got up and he stayed ready. Now,
I don't think Poirier thought that Oliveira was gonna give him that kind of a fight though on the floor. Like
yeah,
I think it took him, but I think it took him off guard whenever he was responding with those knees though, because you could see like he would get a little rocked a little. He's like, oh shit. And well, then, like you said, like whenever they threw him to the ground, he was like, I can't be doing that. Like, well, I think I have to beat him on the floor. I can't beat him on the floor. I have to beat him on the standing up.
I think he did expect it though. I mean, we saw in the Chandler fight how Oliveira stood up with him, man, and he was giving them that kind of game, and he knocked Chandler out. You know what I mean?
If Poirier was not prepared for the stand up and the ground game, then he made a mistake.
I'm not saying he wasn't expecting Oliveira to put the fight that he did. I'm saying like when he rocked Oliveira, I don't think Poirier was expecting him to like respond the way like that quick of a response that he was talking about. Like because like you said, like there was maybe I think on the first round 2 of them where he did get him, he got him clean, and Oliveira got rocked and he got chased back to the fence, and that's when he started throwing those knees. And I was like, I thought Oliveira was out. That's when I thought I was like, damn, he's out.
Yeah, but the volume. Sorry to interrupt you, but like the volume of punches though in that first round, I think it took a lot of Poirier. If you saw him in that corner, how hard he was breathing, like I automatically when I was watching it, I was like,
I think it was the knee strikes to the body. I think it was the strikes to the body. I think that's what gassed him up. Because honestly, if you remember the fight with Dan Hooker last year, he can go 5 rounds at that pace. I'm not worried about that because all they did was headhunting between the two of them. When Oliveira started going at the body, it's a different story, right? Like, so it's gonna wear you out. Your cardio is gonna go down a little more.
And I don't know if y'all noticed it too, but to me, Poirier looks slower this fight, and I don't know if that's just my perception of things. But if you really think about it, I looked back at it like 2 or 3 times, and I compared him to the 2 Conor fights, and he looked slower. And I don't know if it was because I have no idea. I don't know if he changed up something. But like even his counters, like when Oliveira would throw a shot and his counters, he would connect. He would connect with a lot of power, but I feel like he wasn't as quick. And I don't know if it was the day or what, but I just didn't feel he was as quick as usual.
Probably. I didn't see anything from the first round that was different for me. Now, when it came to the second round, when he got him to the ground, he was trying to escape. Bro, those fingers were obvious as hell. Like that's like my issue is like, yes, you're right, Art. There's a lot of controversy where there's sometimes fingers and sometimes you can see it. Bro, he is pulling away, and the ref is like right there looking at him like.
Yeah, but Herb Dean's already having a lot of problems. So
like Herb Dean,
but I think the ref was just trying to like make sure that nothing else happened to Poirier like when he was on top. Like as soon as he could just call it out. I believe
his arm is like this, like getting set up for an omoplata, and like he's trying to escape. There is no man on earth that is strong enough to hold your entire wrist like this just without I mean your fingers are in, and so I mean it's controversial for me because the next 4 minutes and 35 seconds, Oliveira's on full mount or not even full mount. He's on top of the full guard.
I think.
Full guard,
and then he was just like pounding away.
Yeah, I think in that moment, I think Herb Dean I think any ref, right? They should be treated like anything else, like a eye poke, like any of those things, and they should be separated and should redo. Like that's how it should be.
My thing is with that, like I agree with you. Like if like your warnings are all in the back. At this point, you have to keep an eye on everything, and it's point deduction. Because at that point, that changed the whole game. The first round was Dustin. The whole body, 4 minutes and 35 seconds, trying to fight him off, getting elbowed, getting body shots, gassing you out for the whole time, and then easy submission for the third round. Bro, come on. I mean, come on. He climbed him like a tree, fucking snake wrapped around him, and just choked him out. Like, it was beautiful technique by Oliveira, but there's gonna be some controversial about it.
Yeah,
So
that rear mounted choke is crazy that he does. Yeah.
so
I don't
It
know
was-
if you heard the commentator saying that there was possibly a knee, and I want to see I guess I don't know if they're gonna release a report of what injury he had, but they were saying that maybe one of those knees hit him on the chest, and he had some type of rib problem on the second round at the beginning because of the way
Well,
that
I
he
don't
was
know
breathing.
because it seemed like he was freaking out of breath, man.
yeah,
Like, obviously it's a
so-
crazy fight, but think of the volume. But he seemed.
well, so let me ask y'all this going into the next UFC lightweight title fight. Who do y'all want to see next? Y'all want to see Justin Gaethje versus Oliveira, or you want to see Conor McGregor?
No, Gaethje. Gaethje deserves it. He's made his way back, and he deserves that fight.
Yeah,
Art?
no, I just say Conor McGregor on your poll just for the heck of it. I'm surprised that a lot of people said like they want Conor, but it's just Conor's a big name. He talks shit, everything, but nah, I don't think he deserves that fight. And we talked about that. We don't think that he deserves that fight. It should be the next contender.
You know what's funny is Dana White didn't disagree that it might be the next one because I don't know because he's a money fight. But of course, I think Justin will get it first, probably around April or May. Connor's supposed to be cleared to compete again, or at least start training again for April fully. And then he'll probably be booked for like July or August.
Yeah, he looks like a gorilla right now. He looks like he's at 170, 180.
Yeah,
He'll get knocked out again.
He's 190.
But he's gonna.
He's 190.
I for sure think he needs a one fight before even doing anything. I could see him fighting Nate again. That third fight, that trilogy.
He
I
should.
could see him fighting.
He really should because Islam Makhachev and Beneil Dariush are really fighting for the number one contender spot after Justin Gaethje. So, all right, guys, for the big upset of the night, the biggest one because it wasn't the main event. It was a co-main event where the Lioness, the double champion, walks out only a single champion. Marco, give me your thoughts on Amanda Nunes losing via rear naked choke, second round, to Juliana Pena.
The Venezuelan vixen. Yeah, man. I had when I saw the card first came out, I was like, yeah, Nunes is obviously the GOAT, right? I'm like, nobody thought. I don't care what you say. Nobody thought Julieta Pena was gonna win. Nobody.
I would say this. Jesse Mendes did pick her that night.
Oh, for real? Okay,
Yeah, he did.
Shout out to Jesse. Good job, Jesse. Your
Oh,
butthole's still spicy though. Sorry.
How would you know?
You're about to join them
because he told us. Yeah, probably. No, yeah. So, but we did know that Julieta Pena is a very resilient fighter, right? Like she goes hard and goes so like crazy, man, and she gives it everything she got every fight. And if somebody was gonna bring her a good fight, it was gonna be her. To the point where I thought she was gonna win. No, I feel like Nunes, when she was getting struck, I think her thought process was like, damn, this girl's actually hitting me. This girl's actually like getting me. Like, what the hell's going on? And like put her in a state of shock where you could even see where she was trying to counter and she couldn't. And what's her face West, and she would try to think about what she was gonna do next. Nunes was trying to think about what she was gonna do next, and Pena wouldn't let her. And she kept coming and coming and coming. And, I think at that point it was like, damn, oh, well, this happened, right? So.
All right, give me your thoughts on the fight.
So I saw the interview before. I guess it was the day before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought Nunes looked off on that. Like she just looked a little off on it. And Pena was just like, she was confident. And I remember she said right off the bat, she's like, I'm going to take advantage of those little moments whenever Nunes is kind of caught off guard to just keep going, keep pounding. And when I saw the fight, I was like, she literally, whatever she said on words, she put it to paper. Like, Pena just rocked Nunes out on that first round. And just that one punch. And it was like, Nunes responded back with another punch. And it was like back and forth. But Pena just overpowered her. She knew that, just like Marco said, like she was trying to think about it. But that's the thing. Like, she didn't have the time to think about it. It was just like,
Yeah, she did it.
I'm not going to let you think how you're going to beat me or how you're going to throw me off my game. And I think she even tried to like take it to the ground, and Pena didn't let her. Like, Pena knew like I have to keep it up. If not, that's it. But the fact that she took it with that choke, that submission from the back again, man, that's freaking crazy, man. It was a good fight. I was shocked with that one though.
See, I wouldn't even say like Nunes. I feel like she took this fight almost like she started seeing like her opponents way lesser than her. Like she's underestimating them now because at this point she's become so dominant. Yeah, before she became a champion, she had lost some fights, Kat Zingano and stuff like that. But now she had gotten confident with herself. Like so many fights in a row, she's being called the best. And also, she's now become a mom, so she's kind of like got a little bit more other priorities maybe in her mind. And I think in the first round, I mean, I scored a Nunes. I mean, I saw Pena on the ground with fear that she fucked up, that she's like, oh, fuck, I'm on the ground. This bitch about to kill me. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like Nunes was about to kill her. I give a lot of props to Pena, who I did not think deserved this title fight. She had walked into this title fight with only a 1-fight win streak. Like, that's not enough for me. That is not enough for me to say you deserve a title shot, especially since you hadn't earned it. She backed it up, though. She talked her shit. She got in there. She bit on her mouthpiece, and she boxed with Nunes. And her technique's not that great, but it rocked Nunes. It was enough.
Shout out power.
At that point, you see Nunes, and you're like, oh, fuck, she's hurt. And then she goes for the double leg takedown. Doesn't work. And then she still gets finished, beat up. And then the instant the choke is in, she taps immediately. That she doesn't like. She already knew she was done. No, she knows. She knows. Like, you're not as a jiu-jitsu expert. They know. Like, as soon as you get in that shit, if there's no way to escape, you tap immediately. Don't even fucking hold it. Like, I know your pride says hold it, but she knew. Like, nope, I'm out. I'm out of there real quick. Surprisingly, that's crazy. Juliana Pena is the champion. It's the biggest upset in UFC history, in my opinion, even over Matt Serra versus George St. Pierre. But what about y'all? Marco, I'll start with you. Do you think that's the biggest upset in UFC history?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah, biggest upset.
All right, so you're shaking your head, so you agree as well?
Same, man.
It's fucking insanity, bro. Like, so let me ask you this. Rematch immediately?
Yeah, you have to, no?
Nunez deserves it. I mean, everyone else who's lost, like, they've gone back, gotten the rematch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was on a big fight win streak. She was on a 12-fight win streak before losing to Juliana Pena. Big shout outs to the champion and the former champion. We'll see that fight hopefully real soon, and we'll get the answers. Sometimes there's a kryptonite. Amanda Nunes might be the greatest women fighter ever, but her Juliana Pena might be her kryptonite. Who knows? All right, guys. Let's move on real quick we'll skip over the third fight of the card. Sorry, Jeff Neal. Sorry, Santiago. Don't want to butcher your name. Y'all fight was good, but I was a little more distracted with Kai Kara France knocking out Cody Garbrandt in the first round. Marco, you're a big fan of Cody Garbrandt. I'm pretty sure you were hoping for some big things for him in the flyweight division. What are your thoughts on his another TKO loss for him?
I wouldn't say I'm a big fan. I was just a fan of his knockout, but yeah, I was a fan of that one knockout.
I think you're a fan of his style. I'm a
fan of his style. Yeah, I was a fan of his style, but I think we figured out that Cody Garbrandt ain't made for this. He ain't made for the UFC anymore, man. I think he got retired. Like, I really do think so. That was brutal, man. And he's had a couple of bad performances already. And I think this has solidified that he's just not it. He can't anymore. And that's not discrediting what's his name?
Kai Kara France.
Kai Kara France, yeah. That dude's a baller, man. That dude can throw some hands, dude. So that's not discrediting anything from him. That's just Cody is Cody, and he's always been like that. Inconsistent fighter, and now he's a knocked out fighter.
I mean, all right, what were your thoughts on the fight?
Did anyone of y'all had him winning that fight?
Who, Cody?
Cody, yeah.
No, I didn't think he was going to win that fight, honestly.
Yeah,
he's been too inconsistent.
As soon as I saw the fight, I was like, nah. He just it doesn't look the same. Like I know that everyone talks about that one hit knockout right before the round ends, man. Like, but this fight, man, I was like, nah. It I was like, I'm expecting him to get knocked out. Even Shane O'Malley, man, like whenever he said that, he expected that to happen.
Yeah,
Sometimes whenever you just talk a lot and you can't back it up, like we've seen that. You talk a lot and then your past fights, bad performances. So
I think
disappointment though.
Cody was based off his potential, and he didn't meet the standards that people had set for him, and not even probably for himself. And I think he just failed. Like I would like he hit
Co-
because when we first saw him come into the UFC, like Cody was like pretty good, man, and we were like, you know what, this dude might be someone.
he's
And then,
look at this. His record was 11-0 when he won the title, right?
hmm
His record is now 12-5. He's gone 1-5 since his
yeah,
title victory. He's all his losses have been essentially finishes, except for the Raw Font fight. I mean, that probably just took years off of him because that was a 5-round fight, and the judge, I mean, the ref doesn't want to call it for whatever reason. Like he's clearly getting his ass whooped, like, and he needs some saving,
hmm
but that's gonna take some years off of you getting beat up like that. But you got knocked out by TJ twice. You got knocked out by Pedro Munoz. Then you go away for about a year, get your body recovered. You come out with an amazing knockout that gives a lot of people knockout of the year award, stuff like that. By the way, we'll get to our award show later on this year or the beginning of next year. And then he goes and gets destroyed by Rafa, and then he gets TKO'd by Kai Kara France. I mean, Cody Garbrandt was too focused on Sean O'Malley. He saw past, and he was focused on the flyweight champion. He was looking way over Kai Kara France. Kai Kara France, regardless of his record, he has
baller.
9 losses. Like he's a scrapper. He's not gonna take that shit. He took it personal, and he should, because you looked right past him, and that's not right. Don't look past your opponents, especially since you haven't done shit about it. All right, and the final fight on the main card was Sugar Sean O'Malley. All right, guys, is it time for him to finally fight a ranked fighter? Because these guys, I mean, don't get me wrong, his opponent they fought was a good fighter, but I mean, it's not. Is it time for some ranked fighters?
Oh, definitely.
Because I mean,
Yeah, no, yeah, it's time. It's time for him to rank. I see at least. Yeah, he needs to fight someone at least in the top 12, man. He needs to fight someone. I think it's time.
it's time to pay him some money. Time to get him up there. Sugar Sean O'Malley, you're in the bantamweight division, stacked division. I mean, fuck. Why don't since we saw him lose earlier to Dominic Cruz, Pedro Munoz, that's a big step up for Sugar Sean O'Malley. Pay the man, get the fight going. Let's get his career going. We want to see O'Malley fight big names because he's a
Yeah.
big market man. Let's do it. All right, guys. Enough for UFC 269. That shit was fun and all. Let's move on now to the big controversy between all of us. Really, I mean, as football fans, who's going to represent the AFC? The Kansas City Chiefs, the 2019 Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, the six-time Super Bowl champions. Art, since you're gonna be the mediator on this, I'll let Marco go first.
I'll listen to both of you also.
I'll let Marco go first. Tell us why the Chiefs are gonna do it, and then I'll talk and I'll tell you why the Patriots are gonna do it. Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, man. I mean, if obviously people know, I'm a Chiefs fan.
No.
Nah, definitely, dude. We had a slow start, obviously. It's funny, right? Because all these people were saying that Mahomes was broken, the offense was broken, the team was broken, the defense can't do anything, they can't get to the quarterback, all these things. Yeah, someone over there. Kept saying all these things, right? And you know, for a second though, you were seeing. I'm not gonna defend our performances at that time, right? We were awful. We weren't playing like a team. Nobody had nobody's back, right? The offense wasn't bringing up the defense. The defense wasn't bringing up the offense. And I think after that game against Green Bay, that last pass that we got to get the first down, it was like 3rd and 12 or something like that. I can't quite remember. I was like, when we completed that, I think in that moment things changed. And I said it. I was like, after that pass, things changed. And we saw it clicking, right? We started playing these teams. We started playing well on the defensive side of the ball. People carrying themselves, carrying the team. Like like the way our secondary was doing, the way our Chris Jones started getting healthy, Frank Clark, we started getting healthy, and we started getting to the quarterback, other things, turnovers, all these things, man, and we started coming together. Now the offense was still slacking, and we couldn't get it going. And then slowly, the defense has gotten so much better. And I mean, slowly the offense has gotten a little bit better, but the defense has skyrocketed. In the last, I believe, 7, 8 games, we're ranked in every category, either first or second, and in turnovers, um, least yards per run, all these things. Like we're literally coming together as a really really good defensive team with Spagnola's ideas and things that he has brought into the team. Um, and I could keep going about it, but our offense against the Raiders, we finally looked complete. We looked like a complete football team, and that should be scary. That should be scary for anybody in the league, especially in the AFC.
Marco, that's I mean, I'm not gonna dispute what the Chiefs have done since week 7. You know, they've gotten their shit together, right? Like they've been doing the shit they needed to do to get back to where, you know, expectations were prior to the season, right? You had them 17-0. You have them going to the Super Bowl then, still now. But the New England Patriots are the standard for a football team right now at this time, because you have the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, regardless of Spygate, regardless of all the other gates in the world. This shit right now, right? All the gates that you put on him. We're talking about a man who came into the season with all the people doubting him that he was really part of the reason why of the success of 20 years. I'm not saying you were. I'm saying other people. I'm not saying you were, because I know you give his praises and his flowers. Past episodes, definitely. I mean, I'm not saying you, other people, Nick, right? But to the point to where now he's using the Mac Jones number 15 pick overall in the 2021 draft. The defense is back to show you that they're dominant as hell. They were not there last year because of, you know, COVID concerns, and rightfully so. You had every right to do that. And now you went out and spent the money on a Kendrick Bourne, on a Hunter Henry, Jonu Smith. You got some freaking Matthew Judon. You got some beasts on the back end of things, and you're going to be paying J.C. Jackson real soon because he deserves that fucking money, Mr. Interceptions. And after a slow start, my biggest critique about their 2-4 start was that they didn't finish games. They had the materials to do it, right? They lose a point to the Dolphins because of a fumble by Damian Harris. They lose to the Bucks, you know, because, you know, the kicker couldn't get it to the fucking right, and he had it way left and short. Cowboys defense wasn't prepared in the secondary as well as they wanted to be, and they let CeeDee Lamb in a great game, by the way, great game, overtime. And then slowly but surely, you got these little games, the Texans, and you got the Browns, you got the other games going on, and they start getting it together, and they look great without having, because Mac Jones is not the key to their success. He's keeping them alive, but if you have someone like Cam Newton under center, you're not going anywhere. Yeah. And that's why Cam had to go. That's why Mac had to start. And now he's game managing things. He's doing everything right. The defense is doing their thing. They're the number 1 defense in the league right now. They're doing their thing. They're destroying and disrupting offenses. They have a real test on Saturday. They got the Colts on Saturday. That's going to be a good one because the Colts are getting hot themselves. Then they rematch the Bills. And then they got the easy Jaguars. So who knows if Urban Meyer will be there by then. But they're slowly but surely, they're getting everything right. And they're doing the Patriot way, the right way right now. The Chiefs and Patriots are set for a collision course. I can't wait for it. But if I have to choose, I'm going to go with the head coach. My head coach has disrupted Patrick Mahomes more than anybody. And he knows how to disrupt Mahomes. In his first year, they played against each other. Second year, even last year, when we had not even Cam, we had fucking Jared Stidham. It wasn't like a blowout by the Chiefs over the Patriots. It was close. Like, we didn't even have our good defense then. This year, we have everything. It's going to be a fucking clash of titans. I can't wait for it, but I'm definitely picking the Patriots over the Chiefs. Art? Give us your thoughts on what you think.
So I feel like for either one, and like the Patriots have a great coach, the Chiefs have a great offense, and that's something that I've been telling you this whole time. Like the offense for the Chiefs is great, but their defense is lacking. That's the truth, and we've seen them fix it now.
With
in the
Melvin
past
Ingram,
games.
with Melvin
Right.
Ingram and traded it. That's a big key for them.
And then same thing with the Patriots. Their offense was not good at the beginning. They weren't able to finish the game, but their defense was great. And I've always made this point. I feel that the team that wins the Super Bowl should have not only a defense or an offense, but both. And that's what we saw last year with Tampa against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense is great, but the Tampa was able to shut down their offense and their defense was not taking up to par, which is something that we've seen them fix this year in later of the season. Now, with the Patriots, for Belichick to do what he's doing with a quarterback, to develop a quarterback, we saw that with Tom Brady. He developed Tom Brady to do what Tom Brady is today. He's starting to doing that with Mac Jones. He's teaching them, you have to be patient in the pocket. You can't just be one of those mobile quarterbacks. It works in situations. It doesn't work every time. But I feel that for me to pick one of those, like to be like, who is the king or who is going to be crowned on that, I think the test is going to be this weekend because you have the Chiefs against the Chargers. Chiefs lost against the Chargers. And then the Colts defense has shut out offenses. So I feel like this game is going to be the one to like determine like, okay, who should take this one. Now,
Yeah.
The Chiefs are great, man. But the only problem that I keep telling Jose, like, it's the same thing with the Ravens, man. Like once you figure out Lamar Jackson, like that's it. Like that's your offense. And like a lot of the defenses on that the Chiefs were playing, like they figure out the tricky passes that Mahomes was doing, and they were making Mahomes do like crazy passes that weren't even his fault. The interceptions weren't his fault. Like the receivers were just like, "What the hell are you throwing?"
Yeah.
So I like that they're able to get away from that because it's like, okay, now it's a respected team again, which 2 years ago they were able to get to the Super Bowl back to back.
And I don't think it's so much like I don't think it's really defenses figuring out the Chiefs' offense. I really think was the confidence that the offense had within themselves that they haven't had for these weeks. With the drop passes, like that's a huge deal. Like people don't realize, like if you like keep dropping passes, that's in your head, that's in your brain. Now you keep doing it. This first game, like the Raiders is the first game, like we haven't dropped balls. Like,
but don't get me
that
wrong,
was huge.
though. If you think about it, the only reason why I believe the Chiefs have been winning is because they figure out the run game. Their offense is now going through Kelsey and it's not going through Hill anymore. As much
Not
as
yesterday, but yes.
As much as they like do it. So for them to figure out the run, I'm like, man, like that's something that they hadn't been able to do. Like we hadn't seen Clyde like
because Clyde has been hurt, right? Like we didn't have Clyde.
But not even that though. Like I didn't think Clyde was going to be able to do what he's doing today, and I didn't even think Damian Williams was going to be able to do that. But the fact that they were able to fix Williams, but figure out the running game, man, that takes so much pressure off Mahomes. And then you're able to see like Mahomes shine, and that's like what everyone wants to see.
You got to think about what these defenses are trying to do now against the Chiefs, right? They're doing the two high shells, right? So you got two safeties, you got two safeties set up, right? And you basically are like, you know what? We're not gonna give you the big bombs. We want to keep everything short. And you've seen now the way that Chiefs have adapted, and Andy Reid and Bieniemy have adapted to this scheme that they're trying to do against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are figuring it out. And they're doing these little out routes. They're going back to the screen game like they did in 2019. They're doing all these different things with these short little passes, with these little in routes with Hill, picking up yards. They're figuring out different ways to win, and that's dangerous because now defenses are going to be forced to get away from the too high shell. They're going to have to. If we keep running the ball the way we do, and we keep playing the way we do in the short game, the defenses are going to be forced to do something. And then what is it going to do? Now it's going to open up other things. So I think it's just adapting. I think we're figuring it out. I think we're figuring it out. and our defense is really good right now. And if our offense can get to the level that our defense is, watch out, because I don't think Mac Jones
I'll say this.
Can be able to. He's not gonna be able to do anything about it.
I'll say this. Mahomes has looked good against the Raiders. I'm not gonna say he's looked great against the other teams because they've been underwhelming. I'll be honest. Like, look at their points against everyone else but the Raiders. Like, you got 20 against the Giants, 13 against the Packers, 41 on the Raiders, 19 on the Cowboys, 22 on the Broncos, 48 on the Raiders. Like, I still think your offense is still a little shook. I don't know why. Like, because they have all the talent, but it's because maybe they don't have a real wide receiver too. Outside of Kelsey and Hill route because they're one's a tight end. Maybe it's because the run game's still not the perfect thing in the world, right? Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't really been the guy that you wanted him to be coming out of the first round, right? Like, you were hoping a little more screen passes, like you said. You're a little more hoping more he bullied ball more. But I don't feel like Andy Reid's really changed up the scheme more. I think they're the division rivals, by the way. They just tend to piss you off. They just tend to piss you off, especially when you decide to dance on their logo. Fucking idiots. Especially when you haven't done anything, Raiders.
Yeah, they're dumbasses.
But I don't feel like the offense has really been at the par as what we've seen in the past years. I've gone to the Super Bowl. And so, yeah, they'll need to be on par like that, especially when you're playing against a Joey Bosa, a Derwin James on Thursday.
You'll see. You'll see against the Chargers. You'll see what's going to happen.
They'll need to be. And they'll need to show that offense is back, because if that offense is going to play like that against my defense, against my team's defense, they ain't going past us.
No, of course not. And yeah. I think this Chargers game, if we're able to do what we're supposed to do, and we put up points and we beat this team in dominant fashion, watch out. NFL is going to be on notice.
And this is one game that I'm excited to see, though, because like I said, and Jose stated that, some of the teams that they played, they're not the best teams that they could have played. And don't get me wrong, the Packers game, I'm pretty sure that if Aaron Rodgers was there.
Chiefs have had the hardest schedule out of anybody in the last 6 weeks, I think. But anyway, continue.
But their offense has been up to par for that. So the only game out of those that I'm like, man, like, I wish I would have seen that Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes shootout and see what actually happens, because we know Aaron Rodgers knows how to time.
Unless they make the Super Bowl, they're never going to play each other.
Well, right. But you know how Aaron Rodgers, like, he knows how to work that clock. Like, he doesn't care. So the fact that they didn't have Rodgers, man, the Chiefs should have gone out on that defense. They should have been able to, like, do what they did with their offense. So then after that, like you said, they got the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Raiders. The Cowboys, I'll give you that one because the Cowboys defense has been going up. However, I do remember that weekend they were out with COVID.
Also this. So Cowboys have been sucking since Dak got hurt and he came back, and they haven't really.
Cowboys are playing like the Cowboys. They're playing like America's team, man.
Good old Cowboys.
So it's not a surprise though. But I'm saying, like, this Chiefs Chargers, man, this is the time for the Chiefs to say, you know what, like, we are.
But you also got to understand that they played Green Bay. They played Green Bay when Green Bay was the best defense in the league, and everybody was scared out of their minds because of this defense. Because then they got hurt. Yeah, they got hurt. They started getting hurt. They haven't been healthy now, but it's just that Broncos D is good too. Like, it's not bad. I mean, I think we've had a lot of tests. But I agree though. We haven't been the offense we have. We're getting there, and I think we are gonna get there. I really do. No,
I'm not saying they're not going. I'm just saying, like, this is their true test. Just say, like, okay, we got our offense, we got our defense, and we got our running game kind of figure it out.
Regardless of what happens this week, I still see Pats versus Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. That's so because Titans.
Yep.
No, not unless Derrick Henry comes back as a Superman.
And even if he does, I don't think.
And he kills anybody, I don't.
No, but honestly, if the Patriots go against the Chiefs, if you're asking me, like, okay, that's it, I'm gonna give that win to the Patriots. The only reason why is because freaking Belichick, man. If he was able to do that to Tampa, to Tom Brady, and able to, like, figure them out and work the clock, and
and they had all their weapons. They had
all the weapons.
I think y'all are just not realizing though, like, this Chiefs defense, man.
Oh, I'm not underestimating.
No, I'm not. But that's what I'm saying.
If you can get to Mac Jones, unless they're gonna run the ball like against the Bills,
But that's
which
the
is a
thing, man.
possible, it's a
Belichick.
possible scenario. But
Hold on, Art. I
okay.
think then you're also underestimating the Patriots O line, because
Yeah.
that's the same O line that didn't let anything happen. You know, they didn't. The Bills couldn't stop them. They have a good front. They fucking
Browns,
they ran 45 plays,
the Titans,
bro. They
the
Chargers
Panthers, man, the Chargers.
The Chargers couldn't get to them. Yes, I'm not saying anything disrespectful about the Chiefs defense. I'm questioning their offense. I'm not questioning their defense. But I'm not gonna let that, also forget the Patriots O line, because that O line is good. Isaiah Wynn's not the best left tackle, but he's good enough to be there. Fucking Ted Karras is not supposed to be a left guard. He's a backup center, but he's moved into left guard and he's fucking keeping them in check. Shaq Mason, David Andrews, like those boys up front are letting them run. They're protecting Mac to do Mac things, which is not much, but it's Mac enough to fucking move the ball and get to the W's. There's going to be a collision course. It's going to be a fucking tight game. I'm not even going to say it's a high-scoring game. It's going to be low scoring, probably 23, 21, something shit like that, and it's going to be really close. But I'm not going to underestimate your defense. It's your offense I've been underestimating, because they have not been performing to par. You know this because you love Patrick Mahomes. You love Travis Kelce. You love Tyreek Hill. You know they're better than this, and they're not.
I have Travis Kelce on my fantasy team.
And they're not playing to par to where you want them to be, where they've been before, what made them the best team possibly in 18, 19, and 20. And then this is not them. But the Patriots defense and the O-line is my main reasons. Mac Jones is at the bottom. Like, he ain't the reason he's the reason they're not losing 7-9 records like Cam did last year, but he's not the reason they're winning.
Yeah.
Fucking everyone.
No, the fact that your O-line is able to keep your rookie quarterback, man,
45 rushes and you didn't stop him.
Like, in the pocket, like the fact that a quarterback's able to play in the pocket, especially a rookie, like, be able to play the way he's playing, like, he looks better than everyone else. Like, Trevor Lawrence, man, he should have been like playing great, but the fact he doesn't have an O-line,
poor Trevor Lawrence, dude.
Like, it sucks, man. Like, it really sucks. But their O-line sucks. Like, Trey Lance has now gotten the chance to play, but if he gets to play with the 49ers, man, like, if they keep him like safe and all that, same as they have been doing with Mac Jones, man, that's another guy like great. Like, Justin Fields, man, like, don't get me wrong, the Bears this year, they need to fire Nagy, but
they fire.
He's doing all right things. The only one that I'm like, man, Zach Wilson, man, like, all right, overall, like, whatever, dude. I don't know what the hell you guys were thinking, but it's the Jets.
I said it.
Overrated. This kid never made sense. This kid never made sense to me. I don't believe the hype. It never made sense to me.
Yeah.
Man, his two backup quarterbacks score more than what he has done. But anyways, like, I think that if and when they do get that shot, man, if the Patriots get underestimated, like a lot of us, and I'll admit to it, I underestimated the Patriots. I told Jose, I was like, man, whatever, they're not gonna do anything. Dude, no, I called out the Chiefs, and I said they're not gonna be as great. And they have not, man. Their offense is not up to par.
We're 9-4.
It doesn't matter if you're 9-4, man.
We're 9-4.
Dude, like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter if you're 9-4. The fact that your offense is not, like, proved to be what it's been doing the past two Super Bowls. And they have had low-scoring games against the Giants. Man, like, the Giants. And then you blow up the Raiders and the Broncos. And then the Raiders again. Like, why couldn't you do that to the Packers? They didn't have Rodgers. You could have done that to the Titans. You didn't do that to the Titans. The Washington, okay, you blew them over. Like, your division rivals, man, like, you should be blowing them out of the water. And the fact that you're not,
it's just based off because we were struggling, like any team has. We went through
exactly.
phases, but
the fact that you're saying that they're struggling, like, that's
we're still 9-4. That should tell you
it doesn't matter. Like, their struggle.
Why doesn't it matter?
Well, dude, I think
because
the reason he's saying it doesn't matter is because there's a convincing 9-4 and there's a questionable 9-4. I think that's what he's saying.
Like,
because
I'm saying,
I could say 10-2 Cardinals is not enough to convince me they're going to the Super Bowl.
Nah,
they're not. They haven't had that. For their reasons, they haven't had a real test. Like, but we've had questionable 9-4s. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had 10-6s go to the fucking Super Bowl and win it, but there is dominant 9-4, and then there's questionable.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying the Patriots
but
are
I think
dominant.
it's because of the expectation. I think it's just because of the expectation we have from the Chiefs. Like, this is like because of the run we've had and the things that we've been able to do. Like, we're not gonna score 30 points every game,
So
unfortunately.
then
Like,
let me ask you this.
so every
What's the
time Patrick
expectation for the
doesn't score 30,
Buccaneers?
so every time Patrick doesn't score 4 touchdowns and throws for 400 yards, it's a low.
It's not the touchdowns, man. How many interceptions did he throw? Like,
How many interceptions did he throw hit off his receiver's hands?
but that's the point.
6 of the 12 to be exact.
Dude, but that's the point.
7
Like
of
the
the 12.
expectations that you see from that guy who you're like, and like I said, I have great respect for the Chiefs. Why? Because I love the way they play. Like I love the way they play. But I told Jose, I was like, dude, like the reason why I don't see them is because their defense is not up to par. Hey, they're proving me wrong because of the way their defense is playing now. Now their offense is not playing as we know them. And the same thing could be said about the Buccaneers, man. Like if you were to question whenever Tom Brady left Patriots, the expectations for Tom Brady to go to another team was like, is he gonna be able to do the same? And if he doesn't, the
He was very
expectations are low.
underwhelming up until week 14. Yep.
And now that he's doing like, I don't know, let's see what the Bucks right now, they're
10-3.
So do I think they should be 10-3? I believe there's other teams that should have beat them.
The
However,
Bills could have beaten them yesterday.
the expectation that you have from Tom to do last minute Tom things, that's the expectation that you want. You want Tom Brady to do Tom things. The same thing with Rodgers. If Rodgers is not able to slow the clock and everything, man, if the Bears had beaten the Packers last night, which is like usually like it never happens, but if the Bears had beaten the Packers the way they did,
But I
with
think your points don't like. Yeah, you're saying that they would be scrutinized if they lost. Like you're acting like Mahomes wasn't under fire for the past like.
I'm not
13
saying
weeks.
that he wasn't under fire. I'm saying expectations for some people weren't met.
And exactly why he was under fire. Like we know that we haven't met. Like we've been talking about it. We know that we haven't met expectations. What I'm saying is that yes, we haven't met expectations, but we still have managed to get out of a rut, and we're still doing it. Like,
And I applaud the Chiefs for that. And that's why I'm saying like this weekend, the test against the Chargers and the test from the Patriots and the Colts, that's going to be the real test for me to say, okay, you know what, they're back.
Here's
Or
how you
either
know
one.
the AFC has been underwhelming. And mind you, we have like 3 9-4 teams and stuff like this. You do realize the 2 top teams in the AFC the last couple of years don't have 4 losses going into week 14. They barely have maybe 2 or 3. They've all been, don't get me wrong, they've all been like, look at the Bills. They were supposed to be part of the Super Bowl favorites along with the Chiefs for AFC contention. And they have 6 losses now. The Titans, yes, they lost Derrick Henry. They've had a lot of sorts of injuries, but come on, like you're also 9-4 barely, and you're not going to make it past the first round of what a divisional or wild card game. Ravens underwhelming. Like the whole conference has been underwhelming. Like I'm not even like I'm saying questionable 9-4 for the Chiefs, but I'm also saying that for the Patriots. They struggle there too. There's no real dominance. There's those questionable 9-4s, and then there's everybody else. Everyone else at the bottom, because those 2 are the top teams that have been moving forward the right way. Your team started 3-4. My team started 2-4. And they've now progressed to where they're both 9-4. They're right there. 4 games left to go. But they're the 2 hot teams. There's nobody else. They're questionable, but because also at the same time, I can't even say that either of those teams will beat the team in the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I can't even say they're the favorites. Neither the Chiefs or the Pats against the Packers, the Bucks, maybe even the Cardinals, who are feeling themselves. I still have questions about them. The Rams, they can fucking clean it up, and then, well, no, I'm not gonna say the Cowboys, no. but that's where it's questionable for me. They're 9-4 because they haven't convinced me yet that they'll beat the NFC tops, like the Packers, Bucks at least.
Yep.
Because those 2, I think they're gonna meet in the NFC Championship again. And I think whichever of our teams go, at this right now, they're not going to beat them, even with Kovato Rodgers over there. All right. Well, that was fun. That was a nice little debate there.
So I have a question for both of y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you think is going to happen with the next couple of games overall, with all the people and the COVID protocol?
Oh, shit,
have you all seen how many freaking players have dropped like flies in the past week? Like this weekend alone.
Belichick is going to keep everyone on a leash right now.
I just want to know, like, are they going to, like, how they said that they were going to, okay, we're going to, if you're not vaccinated, blah, 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 whatever, we're going to find the whole team and we're just going to, like, pick some whatever. I remember that was at the beginning of the
No, because
I think they're going to go the same way.
Majority of
Are
the
they going
league,
to change games, though? Are they going to reschedule games?
No.
So you don't think it's going to happen the same thing as last time?
Majority of the league is vaccinated. So that's why you have practice squads. That's why you do this. Like you have reserves. You sign people off fucking free agency. I mean, they everything's been composed. Like we're already 14 weeks in the season. 13 weeks, sorry. No, 14. We're week 14. And they've done so well so far. Like if your teammates, if your players fuck up, that's on you. Like that's not for the league to have to fix everybody's shit. When Mike McCarthy wasn't there, when all the Denver Broncos quarterbacks were fucking sick last year, that's team responsibility. As far as I know, most of the top teams are what the hell is that is responsible, and they're going to be moving forward to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to change anything. If your players are not vaccinated or they're going out recklessly unvaccinated or vaccinated, whatever, that's on you. That's your responsibility. So I think everything will move on fine as is. I mean, but if it hurts your team, that's on you. You fucked up your team. Mark Cooper heard that loud and clear from Michael Irvin. All right. Moving on to the last topic, guys. I wanted to go with this one, move some basketball around. We've been seeing the struggling Los Angeles Lakers, the former champions, 2019 season. They have a lot of questions, or 2020 season, the COVID season. They have a lot of questions going on with them. But the major question recently in sports media is who's the main guy right now? Is it who's leading the generation? Has it been LeBron or is it taken over by Steph Curry? I don't even know what you said. You said it so fast.
I said Caruso.
Oh, shut up. Sit your bull ass down. Sit your bull
go
ass
Caruso.
Yeah, so let me ask you, Art. Let me start with you. Not your COVID Chicago Bulls team. Your fucking 10 players are fucking COVID positive right now. Let me ask you, Art. Who is the real leader of this generation right now? Is it still LeBron or is it Steph Curry now? Who is leading the movement?
Nah, I honestly think it's Steph. And the only reason why I'm saying it's Steph is, after the past 2 seasons when they play and they were like a lot of people doubted him, man. But Steph was Steph. Like he was still doing Steph things. He was throwing, he was shooting, and everything, man. It's just injuries. And then with LeBron, man, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, whatever you want to call it. But he talks too much, man. Like I feel like he, instead of playing with his heart on the court, man. And I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying, like, instead of like being 100% on that, he's like worrying about outside topics. He's worrying about what this person said, she said, he said. And it's just not him. Like, man, like his team, like he's supposed to be the leader of that team. Like if you're supposed to be the leader of that team and you say that you're this high-end person, that you're the leader and you help out in the world and you're that lead person, man, like why aren't you doing that same mindset on your team? Like everyone trash talked the team about saying like, oh, it's a bunch of veterans. And we saw them play at the beginning. I was like, all right, they played well. Now they're like breaking down. And you can't blame all the other players in the team. It's like, all right, if you're the team player, you're the captain, man.
Man, you can
What
blame
are you
Anthony
doing?
Davis playing like shit.
But no, yeah, but it comes like, okay, and once you start playing like shit, like it's like look what Curry's doing. Like he's able to like, okay, like maybe I'm the captain. Like I'm gonna carry that team. We're down. Don't worry about it, guys. We're down. All right, let's get it going. And I just feel like LeBron, as soon as they start going down, he's like, fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna sit on the bench. We've seen that from him. So to me, it's Curry. I will give it to Curry.
Marco?
Okay, so is the question based off right now, like at this
moment? How they're playing, how they're leading the teams, and are they really moving like the generations? Who's
basically
the leader?
Who's the face of the NBA right now?
Yes, yes.
Basically, is the question. Yeah, it's Steph Curry, man. I mean, I think Steph has proven himself to be the greatest shooter to ever live. He fits more with the younger generation, with the style of play, this transition of new basketball that's been implemented with the 3-point shot being probably the only shot taken now in the NBA. Just kidding. But we have seen that transition though, right? And I think Steph has been he's almost like, and I'm not trying to give Mahomes this like, whatever, but those like those players that like transition the style of play in the league, right? Like Steph has done that. Like he changed the league in the way he brought 3-point shooting, because he was the first one to start doing it, right? In a very like elusive way. with his shots near midcourt, stuff like that, like crazy that you didn't think, and then like his elusiveness. But definitely right now, the face of the NBA is Steph Curry. The way his team's performing, the way he's leading that team, and the Lakers have been struggling, like we said, with Russ and Anthony Davis playing like he's a 6'1" guard. Like I don't care. Like you play like you're soft, dude. You will not get in the paint. Like you're literally huge, bro, and you cannot get in the paint and play physical. You're scared of physicality. You play like that. You don't play like a big. You play like a small. And if you want to play small forward, then play small forward. Like that's what you're doing right now. And I think from a whole that whole dynamic, Steph is definitely the face of the league right now.
Yeah.
I think Steph took it back when he took the first title in 15. Honestly, I think Steph has been the guy, and everyone's
I used to hate Steph,
and everyone like
same.
I never hated Steph because I thought he was just a baller. Like he just
But
wanted to go
not hate.
shit.
It's just I think Marco's trying to say it's like
no, it's out of respect. It's out of love.
it's
like
not that you hate him. It's like, man, like he made everyone look like shit, man. Like
yeah. As a Spurs fan, that's how I felt about Kobe. Yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, exactly. That same, yes, like that same, that same feeling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you have this guy who is so fucking good,
So
and you got to
man.
see him, and you got to go through him to get a title. Fuck.
Yeah, like you see him on the other side of the court, and you're like, God damn it! But today's this.
Exactly.
Like,
so I think Steph took it in 15. I honestly like, regardless of like all the talk is like, well, he doesn't show up in the finals, or he had KD. Like, no, I think Steph took it in 15 when he first won his title. Yeah, they blew the 3-1 lead, the following year, but he's been one of the best. I mean, he's been top 5, and then when you think about that, how they're doing right now without Clay. Clay's not even back yet. Like, you know how crazy that is? Like, he is stepping up. Draymond Green is not looking like a complete scrub, like how other people were looking at him, like Mr. What is this? Triple single?
Yeah, triple single.
So I mean, they've been looking great, and I think he took it back in 15. LeBron, he's a great philanthropist. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the guy's a good advocate for like good guy of the year and shit like that. I know people question like he's too focused on politically correct things, like with the whole like stuff like that. Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I think LeBron at this point, I think he's just trying to pass Kareem, man. And once he passes Kareem, he solidifies his legacy. Like, I don't think there's anything else. Like, I don't think he's trying to win another chip anymore. Maybe, right? Maybe yes. You're always trying to win a chip, but I don't think that's his main priority right now. I think his main priority is to pass Kareem, because at that point, you pass Kareem, you got 4 titles, you've done what you've done. It's hard to not put him on the Mount Rushmore. Like, that's the truth. Like, LeBron is one of the greatest players to ever live and ever play the game. He's top 5 in my book, like easy. And
I guess the part of the question to go with is he in danger of losing that Mount Rushmore spot to Steph as well? Do you think Steph could take over?
No, not a chance. But Steph can crack into the top 10 for sure with another chip. And though if he ends up keep doing what he's doing, by the time he finishes his career, he might end up with more titles. But does he take LeBron's throne? No, because there's never been a more dominant player than LeBron on the assist side of the ball and the point side of the ball. And I think that's what solidifies it.
Art, do you agree with him?
Yeah, like, can Steph take his like he's the king for a reason. That's why they call him the king. Like Marcus said, once he passes that landmark, it's like, you can't downgrade him. Like, it's like saying, oh well, I don't know, like he passed Michael Jordan for whatever. Like, Michael Jordan's not like the GOAT anymore. You can't say that either. Like, they solidified that spot for a reason because of their career. Now, what he has done on the court and what he has done politically or out in the world, like, you should keep those two away. And if we're just talking like, okay, generations wise, like, yeah, of course, like Steph, like Marco said, like he has a better connection with the younger people, like, and the style of playing and how he's changing the way that people shoot now. Like, we've seen more threes being shot from away from that 3-point line since he started doing it. But no, I don't think Steph takes it. I think Steph is able and capable of being in that conversation of, top 10, possible top 5, depending on how many championships he does and what he does in his career from here on. but no one's gonna take what LeBron did. No one's gonna take what everyone else did. That's why there's a top 5. There's a top 10. You can't take them. That's their spot.
Right.
Yeah, I think LeBron falls in that, like Michael. Like, you're not gonna take Michael's. Like, you're not gonna get over Michael. You're never gonna be Michael. I don't think you're never gonna be over LeBron.
You're never gonna be Kobe. You're never gonna be Michael. You're never gonna be
Kobe.
like LeBron. Like, that's the thing. I don't think there's never gonna be
That's
another.
that's a
Steph.
solidified top 3.
Yeah, there's never gonna be another Steph though. Like, if you think about it, there's never gonna be another Steph. What Steph is doing?
That's why I'm also bringing it up. Like, is he a Mount Rushmore guy himself, or does he knock off LeBron? Or
he's not a Mount Rushmore yet.
Mount Rushmore's 4, right? So who do you put in your 4? You put KD. LeBron, Kobe, and MJ. Who's the 4th one?
Who's yours? Because you know what, I'll just say Duncan. Because fuck it, I love Tim Duncan.
I gotta say, to me it would be him.
Because you got a bunch of guys who are like, oh, Kareem, and then you got Shaq. It's like, yeah, they were dominant centers, but how many dominant power forwards have there ever been? And he was also a center. Like AD can't keep up with fucking Tim Duncan. Giannis, they were trying to say he was going to keep up with Duncan. Like, nobody can keep up with Duncan.
Bro, AD can barely keep up with freaking. Russ. No offense to,
you just made a good point though. But like, could Kobe keep up with MJ whenever he was like playing like that? No.
Well, that's why no one said he's on. Well, don't talk to Mike.
Oh yeah, don't do that. That's the wrong idea.
Mike will debate you at Kobe over MJ, Kobe over anybody. So you can, y'all can have fun with that.
No, and it's understandable why though. Like, whenever there's that type of an iconic player, and you're able to see him play, that's what I mean. Like, there's never gonna be another like one of those 3 guys. There's never gonna be another Duncan, man. Like, that's the thing.
Exactly.
Like, those guys, they have their name in a plaque already, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's gonna be another Steph. Like, what Steph is doing with the 3-point shooter and like what he does on the court, there's never gonna be another Steph. Like, no matter if you have another guy's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot from the 3-point line on the other guy's court. Like, nah, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure Steph already did that. So.
I for the argument for people who will say, "Oh, look at KD right now. Like, he would take on Prime Duncan." I'm like, dude, it's a KD jump into the Warriors, leaving Russ behind. Like, Duncan didn't leave his team behind. He could have in 06. He could have left for the Magic.
He did.
But he stuck around. He won 5 titles. Even when they lost that crushing Game 6 and then the series in Game 7 against the Heat, they came back with a vengeance and then fucking destroyed it. They were doing fantastic work, and Tim Duncan was still leading the team at the time. Even if Kawhi got the MVP award, it was still Tim Duncan the leader at age 38. He fucking did those things that people believed that they couldn't do anymore, that they were just there for LeBron's, to eat, for him to get more titles. So crazy things have happened. Those are, I mean, for me, that's my, gonna be my top 4.
And if you really think about it, Duncan and that big 3, how many dynasties did they stop, dude? Like, you got the Lakers that like Kobe, like Pistons. Kobe said it himself.
Bad boy Pistons.
And then Kobe. I mean, Shaq will say it all the time. Like, or Kobe said it.
Kobe said it.
Yeah, me and Shaq could have won 10 championships.
But
it wasn't for them.
If it wasn't for Tim Duncan and the Spurs.
Kobe gave his flowers to them. Shaq will still bitch about the 99 season where it was sit your ass down, boy. You had to jump on 20 teams just to get fucking 4 rings.
Tim Duncan owns Shaq. That's fine.
That's right. And Shaq feeling it because he's from San Antonio. He was born here, but
forget
it's like, you know what? This is Tim Duncan's town, bitch. All right, guys. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of good topics we broke down right there. Definitely a good one, especially after that spicy challenge on Saturday, which
that tag behind you should have said, "I destroyed my anus."
Hey, man. It said I destroyed the 2021 Winter Challenge, but I destroyed my body. And you know what? If I lost 5 pounds out of it, then I feel good.
There you go.
All right. Marco, you got any plugs, any businesses, any places you want people to stalk you or find you? That you want to promote right now?
You can find everything at Marcitos, MAARCITOS _ on Instagram.
Okay, no business plugs.
Yeah, for sure. We could plug Fix My Phone, a growing business here in the San Antonio community. We do all types of phone repairs, computer repairs, anything besides TVs. Basically, we can repair for you. So yeah,
Can
just
you
reach
repair a
out to me. All
broken
my
heart?
information is in my profile. Yeah, I got that too.
All right, Art. And what plugs do you got?
Y'all can find me at Beach Bum AI, man, on
That's right.
Instagram.
He's a
Never
beach
post
bum.
anything, according to Jose. I never post anything, which I don't. But
When do you? Like, you know what? You still haven't sent me the wedding photos of when we took a group pic together. You
dude, I
sweaty
still haven't
ass.
received the wedding photos from my wife. So let's just put it that way. No, we received it and everything. We just haven't. I haven't looked through them yet. So
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, bro, it's been like 6 months. Like, like, hello.
nah, we have them. I just haven't. I honestly been too busy with work, man. The rental of the house and future upcoming baby. So
That's true.
I don't have time to. I actually I do have time. I just don't put the time for it. And I need to do that.
All right, there you
There
go.
you go.
All right, guys. And you can find me on Instagram at JoseLuis_1990, on Twitter at Jose Garza Jr. 10. Follow the podcast, guys, as always, on Instagram at Puro Picha Sports Podcast, on Twitter, Picha Sports Pod. Like, share, subscribe. Let people know, guys, if y'all want to hear a good debate, this is a good place to do it sometime. You want to debate with us, you can. I have no problem with that. Guys, thank you for watching. For Marco, for Art, I am Jose Garza. We are Puro Picha Sports, and we are out.